This is the journey to One Africa. Alright guys, welcome back to SNOA. This is Mika and let's get right into it. One way to support us is you can go through the links in the description and choose however you want to stand with us and to support us. But also you can follow us on social media by the name of Mika Chavala and Swahili Nation. Alright guys, we have a sad news and it is about Nigeria. Nigeria floods kill at least 30 people and displace some 400,000. Severe flooding in Maiduguri, Nigeria has resulted in at least 30 deaths and displaced of 414,000 people, according to the National Emergency Management Agency. Officials fear that the number of displaced individuals could reach 1 million as the flooding is the worst in 30 years. The Nigeria Red Cross Society has launched an appeal for donation to support the affected residents. Guys, this is very sad news. First of all, let us, Swahili Nation, SNOA, Swahili Nation One Africa, send our condolences to Nigerians. We stand with you guys in this difficult time. We're sorry for the loss of 30 different lives. This is definitely something that we are standing with you. It's devastating. Losing people, it's never been easy once. It's something big and it's something hard and it's something bad. So we're standing with you guys and we're praying for you. But as well as more than 414,000 people who have been displaced. It is not a small number, guys. That's a huge number of people. And, as we have heard that number might increase, not only 400,000, but it might go all the way to 1 million. Why? Because this flood, it hasn't happened in 30 years. Like in the period of 30 years, this is the very first time for something like this to go this bad. So, everything about floods, these are natural disaster. All right, these are natural disaster. You cannot blame a human being for natural disaster. But one thing that we always talk about when it comes to flood, this issue, it happens a lot in Africa. This year, it happens in South Africa. A lot of people died. It happens in Kenya. More than 200 people died. It happened in Tanzania. Also, a lot of people, more than 100 people, I guess, died. It happened in some part of Tanzania, Africa, East Africa as well, Rwanda, Uganda. So these are tragedies that we know they happen in Africa and we know they're going to keep on rising and happening. And the best thing that we can do, we as Africa, and this is my call all the time, and that we need to create a good infrastructure. We need to work on the basic things because these things are predictable. We know that we're going to have heavy rains. We know that our people might die because of the flood. We know that. So why don't we create better infrastructure that will support us and help us to reduce the casualties and the collateral damages of these floods that are happening? I believe we can. But imagine flood happening and 30 people being killed, die because of that. Basically, it means these people, maybe they were not informed that you guys, the area that you are, there will be a heavy rain and the flood might come and you guys might lose everything. So evacuate from those places. These are things that I've learned. I've visited a few countries away from Africa and I've seen how they prepare themselves for things like this, for time like this. They'll literally start sending notifications to every single one of people phones for like 1 month before. They are preparing you that on this date, there might be a heavy rains and flood. So please make sure that you stay on this place, evacuate from your place if they're living in any danger place. You know what I'm saying? This is the accountability of the states. To be honest, I'm saying that you cannot really blame a human being for these natural disasters that are happening in our country. But on the other hand, you can actually blame them. Why? Because you know these things that are coming. We have a weather people. They know, they predict that this is going to come. So if we know, what we can do is start preparing better infrastructure that will help us to sustain, will help us not to get swayed away by the flood and the water. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. I get annoyed even when that incident happened in my country or different countries in Africa. I get annoyed. I'm like, hey guys, we act like we never knew this is going to happen. No, we know it. It's predictable. So my advice is this. Yes, 30 number of people is not a small number. We send our condolences and praying for those people who have been displaced, that, you know, they will find their home once again. But more than that, this flood basically might happen next year as well in the same place. So what are we doing today to stop it from harming our people next year? Build infrastructure. When I'm talking about infrastructure, it means you have roads, but we have also to build these side tracks that will actually take the water away. It has to be clean. It has to be deep. It has to be big, that when the rain rains, these whatever wells and these whatever side lane will actually take water to whatever that we want it to go. We can do that, but you find out a lot of our roads, they don't even have a sideways, you know, on the side, on the left side and right side. So how are you going to get rid of the water? If there's a lot of water, how are you going to get rid of that? Infrastructure, the first thing, and second, since we know these things, they're going to happen prior to happening, we need to warn our people. We need to evacuate them. We need to even train them as well to know how to stay and how to survive in the storms like this. This is something that is doable. We cannot keep watching and looking at the numbers keep increasing and our people are dying. No. That is not possible. We should really focus on that. And I think this could be an agenda in African Union as well. That yes, we can have flood, but in the same continent, we have people dying because of hunger. Imagine, guys, we have over rain and we have people dying because of hunger. What are we doing with this water? Why can we, save them somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like during the heavy rain, we should have water banks, something like water banks. We save this water somewhere. We channel this water to the safe place where we can keep them until the time of drought. And then we reuse the same water to do irrigation system so that our people can have excessive amount of food. But it's ridiculous that in the same continent, our people dying because of flood, and the same countries, people are dying because they don't have food. Why? Because of shortage of rain. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. And this is the reason why Africa, we've always been looked down on. Can you guys just think about that? The same continent, the same country, people are dying because of flood. And the same country, people are dying because they don't have food. Why? Because of drought. So in the same continent, the same year, you have drought and you have heavy rains. What are you going to do? What is your plan? Save the water. Have water banks across the country, across the nation, across the continent, so that during the time of flood, during the time of drought, we'll use that water to do irrigation and produce. In Africa, it should have the crazy excessive amount of food, and Africa should be feeding the entire world by the food produced in Africa. But we don't use our brain sometimes, and it seems like we keep on losing our people. One thing we're good at is letting our people die. And this is not a compliment. This is the bad data. So I hope as we hear this, please let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts. And let's bring about change, all right? I believe that we can bring about change, and you guys and me, we are part of that change, all right? I always say this, that be the change that Africa needs, all right? You don't just wish for the change to happen. No, you have to be the change that Africa needs. We know what Africa needs, so be what Africa needs. Appreciate, guys. I love you. I'll be reading your comments in the comment section, so please let me know in the comment section your thoughts.